I just always was so nervous about that I had lost that I almost didn't want to tell people what I was doing. Every market has its own thing. That's when I started doing the Airbnb stuff. Okay, we're doing this forever.
Yeah.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, all you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
Dallas, Houston, and Austin. So you went to Dallas straight from Atlanta.
Correct.
And how long were you in Dallas?
We were in Dallas 7-8 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that was all flipping.
That was all flipping, and I was working, of course, still working. I did not quit until then. Okay, so, all right, so we moved to Dallas. What year is this? 2011, 2012. I'm working at Chase, because when I was in Atlanta, I was working at Bank of America, okay? So then we moved to Dallas, and I'm working at Chase Bank, and I'm actually climbing the corporate ladder. Never really talking about the real estate, though. That's the kind of the fun thing about it. It really was like my secret because of the foreclosures and the bankruptcy. I just always was so nervous about that I had lost that I almost didn't want to tell people what I was doing for so many years. For so many years. And Dallas is doing good. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to quit the job. So now it's, 2016-ish. And I've made some really good money working and flipping houses. And so then there was one last move we made to Virginia, where I just wanted to see if I could do all of this in different states. So of course I started it in Connecticut. I'm doing some little wholesaling and things like that in Connecticut because I didn't really have much money. But when we moved back to Atlanta, I actually was able to flip houses again, not just kind of just flip the contract. I actually could get the funding. I actually fixed my credit a little bit. So I could flip houses. Dallas, I flipping houses, getting rental properties. Now I'm like, okay,
is it just the market, or can I take this anywhere?
Correct.
Kind of
correct.
Test yourself.
And it was almost like me just testing myself. So I got this job opportunity in Norfolk, Virginia. And
that's pretty.
It was we ended up living in Chesapeake, but I did some investing in Norfolk near the military bases, and there was a lot of military stuff going on. We hated it, though.
And not because of any reason that the people would be.
Right. Nothing about it's a beautiful place. I love Virginia and the people, but the weather and my kids and the family, no one enjoyed it. So we're actually only in Virginia, I think, 1 year.
But let me ask you this, especially that area.
Yeah.
Because that does sound like a challenge, not economically, but a challenge professionally for what you do. It's one thing where you have a Dallas or an Austin with, unlimited
potential. In Atlanta, those are big markets.
Right, but East Coast port cities. I mean, really, how much business could you
So I focused really hard on the military. And so there's a military base in Norfolk, Virginia, and there's a lot of military people there that have VA loans. So we did a campaign where we were talking to people, different military people, encouraging them to use their VA loan, and then if they got shipped off, they could make that into a rental property. And we had actually had a few people that had bought homes and they were being shipped off or, relocated, and they gave us those properties. So we were able to do a few deals in Norfolk, but what I realized in that market was every market has its own thing.
Yeah.
And if you focus on the thing for that, for that market, like, okay, they're giving us a military base, focus on the military people, then you'll do well. So you really just have to switch up what's going on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But for the family, just wasn't a good fit.
It just was not a good fit. My kids hated the schools, some bullying and things like that. It was just family dynamic. No one was happy.
Ultimately, isn't that what all this is about anyway? I mean, I'm going to derail us for a moment, but tell me a little bit about that. Are your decisions of where you end up now? You're in Florida.
Yeah.
Was that motivated by familial bliss and happiness, or was it purely economic reasons?
It was a little bit of both. So after we leave Virginia, we go back to Texas again for just a few months. Because we had property there, and it was easy. It's obviously easy to move back when you have property.
Are you living in the properties that is that sort of how it makes it easy for you? Forgive me, I'm not in your world, so this is fascinating to me.
Right, so sometimes, in Virginia, we were doing We bought a house there, and then we had some rental properties. And then when we left Texas, of course, we made the property that we were living in, we turned that into either, I forget if we turned it into a long-term rental or Airbnb. And so it was just easy to move back into houses that we already had.
Why not?
Yeah. And so I liked Texas, we liked Texas, and we felt like, let's just move back. And we were only there a few months because that's when I started doing the Airbnb stuff. That's when, this is 2017 now, I'm realizing how much more profitable our Airbnbs are versus long-term rentals. You rent a property out vacant, unfurnished. The mortgage, let's just say the mortgage is $900 a month. You rent it out for $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
You're making $300-400.
Yeah.
But if I had that same property and I'm renting out $100-200 a night, now I'm making thousands on that property. And so like the light bulb went off like, whoa, what am I doing? I need more Airbnbs. And we had a few in Florida around Disney, and we realized how much more money they were making than the rest of my rental properties. I'm like, all right, we're moving to Orlando.
Particularly in Orlando.
Particularly.
Because there isn't that I know of. I'm sure there are down seasons here, like everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, where you have year-round open parks and year-round families who want to be at those parks.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
It is. I cannot believe we waited so long. Like, you think about, look, there's over 74 million people come to the Orlando area every single year.
Oh. I was going to say, the airport terminal feels like 74 million people on the shuttle.
Think about it. You have Disney World, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, like International Drive. There's just so much. You have the beaches in Clearwater. And Disney is not going anywhere.
Right.
It's not. And so you have all of these families. Now we have people Airbnb has become more than just families traveling. I have people that come for sales jobs, people that come for surgeries, literally surgery, and will come and stay in our Airbnbs for months because they're having surgical procedures done.
Do you cut them deals for long term?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
So.
Yes,
now, here's the question.
Yes.
How's the family now that you're here? And how long have you been here, and how do they like it?
So let's talk. So we moved here August 2019. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What happened in 2020 though?
Right. Yes. Little thing called COVID.
COVID.
Yeah.
So that was, I think, different. Let's stay there, and unexpected, because then we got to get really close to each other because we were just in the house for a year together. I feel like it strengthened us as a family. The kids are learning a lot more about the business now that my kid, I have a 17-year-old now, I have a 15-year-old now, I have a 12-year-old. They're really wanting to learn the business. And that's been different.
Yeah.
Like bringing my kids into the business and saying, okay, we're doing this forever.
Yeah.
Wow, that was an amazing episode. If you want my new book, you can get it absolutely free at 𝗷𝗛𝐿sfreebook.com. Get my new book, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets, absolutely free. You just cover the shipping and handling. Go to 𝗷𝗛𝐿sfreebook.com. That's NOELLE with an S, 𝗷𝗛𝐿sfreebook.com. I have poured my heart into this book, and I am teaching you all about real estate, how I started with bankruptcy, bad credit, no money, and how you can do the exact same thing too. Check out my new book because I want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.
I feel like that's probably why I ended up in my parents' basement. And those are the things they don't ever really talk to. They never tell you even how they got the house. That's the ideal flipping situation because it was the best thing. People didn't see me coming.
Right.